Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Let's take a look at current market conditions here. We saw pretty aggressive selling yesterday with really still some follow-up with what the Fed's been dealing with, and as far as them talking about increasing interest rates for longer throughout the year. The markets kind of got spooked by that. Shorter term, we've turned back bearish in a bear market, and so definitely caution is warranted here at these levels, as I've mentioned, where we have this trend line that is potentially breaking down. We have had momentum move to the bearish side, a little bit more aggressively now. We'll take a look at the other internals here shortly. Breadth has also dropped pretty aggressively, so this is definitely a significant move to the downside, and potentially early in the downside. If we look at buy-sell ratios, saw a pretty nice spike on those as well. So we're approaching that upper range that we typically see, which doesn't mean, we couldn't see more downside, but it does mean definitely sitting on sidelines or building out your watch list, or just being a spectator from these perspectives. The sentiment, we're headed towards that green line now. We may get there. We'll have to watch and see. S&P 500, the chart on that, the bar looked pretty ugly right here, where we saw some pretty sharp selling. We're seeing, this support area that's now breaking down, and potential head and shoulders pattern, which is a topping pattern that if it breaks this headline, significantly, this is really close to doing that, if not already done it. Just, there's another little support area right down here. We could test these lows or these lows. So this is not the time to be loading up, and just kind of allow for some stability to be taking place here with a bearish bias. Some of those inverse ETFs to be able to utilize. Anything that's ultra short is going to be moving higher. So that list, this muscle ETF list, is a way to, that's an odd looking chart, just because it's a floating rate treasury fund, and sometimes those will pop into those scans. Gold miners, S&P 500, really anything that's looking to the downside. If we take a look at the new buys, the downside, mostly bearish type stock, bearish funds. So this is an active bear ETF. You're going to see those currently popping up in that muscle ETF list. So those are a couple of scenarios to consider. And really the aggressive scenarios, the conservative scenarios are sitting on the sideline. The aggressive scenarios are investing and trading with a bearish bias, shorting stocks, buying inverse ETFs, put options. Again, those are for aggressive investors that want to be able to try and take advantage of moving to the downside, versus just simply waiting for a little bit better bullish pattern to present itself. If we look at sectors, there's if you do feel like you have to be buying something, then be looking for some of the leaders. And so you're seeing some leadership here in construction, transportation, industrials. And if we take a look at the indices, industrials leading, but to the downside. We've got 20 of the Dow stocks now in sell signals, which are downtrending, and that's a pretty aggressive trend now that is going to take some time to get through. So again, we may see sometimes in these market conditions, we may see some new buys and breakouts, but they start to fail. But you're seeing, you will see stocks and pockets of stocks that are working. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do here, is find the stocks that are working in any market condition. And so you're going to have some in this new buy list. Let me refresh this. And if we go to the new buys, COCO, consumer beverage, consumer staple type stock, another consumer discretionary here. Transportation, still a bounce, but some indecision on those. And MLI, metal production, those are kind of rounding out the top 5 stocks right here. So be cautious in this environment, but don't be fearful. Look for opportunities that may present themselves. If you don't have full access to the software, you can sign up with the link below, and we look forward to having you. Have a great day.